Hi, I'm Patrick Conroy, and I'm your instructor for American Government. A little bit about me. I grew up in New Orleans. Um, I've moved away and have lived in other cities like New York, Atlanta, Seattle. But then New Orleans called me back home. I went to Loyola Law School, so I know a little bit about American government from that. Um, I've been teaching for about 20 years, teaching online for 20 years. Been with Nunez for about 2 years. Um, So I think I know a little bit about how to set up an online class to make it so you can get the most out of it. I try to provide a rich learning environment so it's not just you in the book. So it's a very good book. Um, Let me show you a little bit about what you'll see when you go to the Canvas site. Okay, so um, I'll switch to student view. Okay, so this is what you will see. The home At the top, you'll see any announcements I make, and I usually make weekly announcements just to help you move along and get things in. And you'll see that the whole semester is broken down into weekly modules. Every week, you're going to be turning in things. Um, we have the way I do it is I have a ton of smaller assignments instead of a few large ones. This helps make sure that you're turning things in and staying on track. And it's more, I always found in college that, like, if there was just one paper, I would wait and procrastinate and wait till that paper was due, and then I'd cram. This way, you're constantly working, and that will help you reinforce the content without becoming overwhelmed. So there's also some links. There'll be a link to the syllabus here. Um, Ways to contact me down here at the bottom. Now, each of these links is going to take you to the modules area. This will be the first one you do. Start here. Here you'll see the syllabus, information about how to access the textbook, some policies I have, and some help. Then there are a couple of quick little assignments that are due right away, so I can make sure that you are actually intentionally in this class. And some helpfully Nunez links, and then we get into the chapters. Now you will access your textbook here through Access Pearson. And let me tell you, it's a lot more than just a book. It has a lot of tools and videos to help you learn the material. So I encourage you to take advantage of them. Then in here in the module, you'll see all sorts of things that I put in to help you. PowerPoint, lectures, videos I found on YouTube. The way the brain works is if you read anyone can learn anything. It's all about building connections in your brain, called synapses. Now, if you just read something once, it's a very thin, weak connection. But the more times you go over it, and the more different formats you get the information, the stronger and stronger that will become. Then you can take the quiz. Quizzes are always 20 questions, multiple choice, um, and it's set up so you can have two attempts. Now, they draw questions from a pool of 32 questions or so. So each time you take it, you won't see exactly the same questions. You'll see some of the same questions and some new ones. So you can use the first one as a practice to see how well you understand it, and then take it again. It's open book, no time limit. It's more like a homework assignment than a quiz. Then I often have something where I want you to do some writing. Nothing huge, just a little bit to go beyond the multiple choice type questions. And that's how we do it every chapter. Some weeks you'll have one chapter due, some weeks you'll have two. But the idea is you're constantly working to reinforce the material. Now, when we get to the midterm, and final, you'll see that there's a practice. What I've done is I've taken questions from all the chapters that would have covered and put them in a pool. So there are about 106 questions in the pool. Each time you take the practice, you'll see 50. And you'll keep going through. You can take the practice as many times as you want. So you'll see more and more of the questions when you do. Then once you really got that information solid in your brain, you take the actual midterm. It's going to use something called the Respond to Select Down browser, so you won't be able to look up answers, and it's timed. So you really need to just be ready for the test and then take it. One thing you see when you log in that I kind of wish you didn't is this to-do list. The problem with the to-do list is that it's just going to show you what's going to be graded that week. Not all of the study materials are provided for you. So you might be tempted just to go to this. No, you really want to go through the whole module. About if you have any problems or questions, due dates. Okay, the due dates are in there to make sure you kind of know where you should be. And so every chapter is going to have a due date. Now, you can always work ahead. And if you miss it, sometimes something happens and things go crazy in your life for a few days and you don't get an assignment in. Don't stress too much. I will leave the link available so you can still turn in the assignment up until the first 9 chapters, March 16th. Second half of the semester, everything will stay open until May 5th. This is just so you do have a chance to get it in, but I really, really encourage you to try to stay on top of the due dates, because the students who do poorly are the ones who fall behind. Because what happens is they fall behind, then they get stressed, and then they become overwhelmed, and then they freeze up and they don't do any assignments. Just get it in. If it has to be a day or so late, it's okay. But don't put it off too long. Okay? If you need to reach me, just email me. If you want to talk to me, email me with your phone number. Or we can meet on Zoom. I think you'll like this class. The material is really important to know as a human, as an American citizen. It's not like history, but it shows you how the government works. And the government, all the levels of it, will play an important part of your daily life. So you really need to understand what's going on with the government so you can figure out how to best plan your life and how the different levels of government interact and how you as a citizen can impact that. Okay, so that's it for now. Hope you enjoy the class, and I look forward to being your instructor.